Hey everyone! Before we dive into this life-changing story, I have a quick question for you. Have you ever felt stuck? Like no matter what you do, your life just doesn't seem to move forward? If so, this story will completely shift your perspective. Success isn't just about luck or circumstances. It starts with one thing: your mindset. The way you see yourself and the world around you determines the opportunities you seize or miss. Today, we'll explore how a simple shift in thinking transformed a beggar into a thriving businessman, and how you can apply this principle to your own life. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll walk away with a game-changing lesson you can apply immediately. At a crowded railway station in a bustling city, there lived a man who had spent years surviving off the generosity of strangers. Every day he begged for coins from passing travelers, never expecting much, never believing he could be anything more. One afternoon, as he went about his usual routine, he noticed a tall, well-dressed man stepping onto the platform. The beggar thought, "This man looks rich. He'll surely spare me a good amount." He approached him, hand outstretched. But instead of dropping a coin into his palm, the man looked him in the eye and asked, "You always ask, but have you ever given anything to anyone?" The beggar was taken aback. He replied, "Sir, I am just a beggar. I have nothing to give. How can I give anything to anyone?" The man smiled and said, "If you can't give, then you have no right to ask." Then without another word, he boarded the train and left. The beggar sat there, replaying those words in his mind. If you can't give, then you have no right to ask. It struck a chord deep within him. Was it true? Had he never given anything? Was this why his life never changed? That night he couldn't sleep. He kept wondering, what do I have to give? But nothing came to mind. He felt trapped in his situation. 2 days passed and still, he found no answer. On the third morning, while sitting near the station, he noticed a patch of wildflowers blooming nearby. And then it hit him. What if I give these flowers to those who give me money? Excited by the idea, he plucked a few flowers and, for the first time, instead of just taking, he began giving. He would hand a flower to anyone who offered him money. At first, people were surprised, but soon they began to smile and appreciate his gesture. Some even gave him more than they usually would. He realized something profound. People valued the exchange more than the act of charity. Weeks later, as he continued his newfound practice, he spotted the same tall businessman again. This time he ran up to him and said, "Sir, today I have something to give you." The man smiled, handed him some money, and accepted the flower. He looked at him and said, "Wonderful. You've become a businessman like me." These words lit a fire in the beggar's heart. He wasn't just a beggar anymore. He was providing something valuable, and that realization changed everything. Determined to grow, he started waking up earlier and picking more flowers. Soon he noticed that the more flowers he gave, the more money he received. He decided to invest his earnings into buying better flowers. He found a supplier and bought flowers in bulk. With time, his earnings multiplied. He no longer had to beg. People came to him willingly for flowers. And soon he had enough money to set up a small flower stall at the station. Within 6 months, he had expanded his business. He started supplying flowers to vendors and even local hotels. The same people who once pitied him now respected him as a successful entrepreneur. One evening, 2 well-dressed men were traveling on a train. One of them recognized the other and extended his hand. "Do you remember me?" the man asked. The second man studied his face. "I'm sorry, I don't think we've met." With a smile, the first man said, "We have. Twice, in fact. Once when I was a beggar, and the second time when I sold you a flower. Today, I am a successful businessman." The businessman was stunned. "That's incredible. What happened?" The man shared his journey and concluded, "You taught me a simple rule. We only receive when we give. That rule changed my life." This story isn't just about a beggar turning into a businessman, it's about all of us. It's about realizing that we are not stuck. Our circumstances don't define us. Our mindset does. Here's the takeaway. Success isn't about waiting for luck. It's about giving something of value and believing in your potential. So ask yourself, are you always waiting for opportunities, or are you creating them? Are you only taking, or are you also giving? Are you seeing yourself as limited or as someone with endless potential? The moment you shift your perspective, your life will start to change. Just like the beggar, You already have something to offer. It could be a skill, knowledge, kindness, or even just a helping hand. Whatever it is, start giving, and you'll start receiving more than you ever imagined. If this story resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, change your thinking, and you change your life.